Chrebet is magic. And it's complete for the touchdown. Chrebet, the rookie from Boomer. He grew up in Garfield, New Jersey, 10 minutes from Giant Stadium.
But short of a first down, Chrebet was able to work free. What a move by Wayne Chrebet.
Absolutely unbelievable. You're talking about a kid who is just all heart.
Welcome to the Underdog Jets podcast with Wayne Chrebet and Robbie Sabo. Welcome back, New York Jets fans, to another episode of the Underdog Jets podcast with Wayne Chrebet. And we are back after the Jets, the mighty 2-0 Jets, beat the Atlanta Falcons by 8 points, 24-16 at MetLife, rainy MetLife Stadium. Wayne, did you catch the game, and what do you think? We actually haven't spoken since the Zach Wilson injury. I think the Becton injury maybe as well. What do you think about the state of the overall team right now?
Pretty good. I mean, obviously they've had some injuries. Caught a little bit of the game, mostly highlights, but I was out at 2 practices last week in training camp and loved what I saw.
Yeah, I think it was you hit the Falcons scrimmage, correct?
Yeah, I was there on Friday and Saturday. Actually got a chance to be there Saturday with Lavernius and John Abraham. So we're out there comparing notes on the players and, you know, how we stack up against, you know, the DBs that are out there and what our receivers look like. Me and Elsie were talking about.
What did Lavernius say? Can he outclass Sauce Gardner at this point? What do you think?
I don't know. It's funny. We're standing there. We both got like built like gray beards, just chilling in street clothes. And we're watching these guys. And me and we're laughing like, these guys can't cover us. They look at us like we're old people. But yeah, they got some great players there. But, you know, we can dream, right?
Yeah. And, you know, Sauce looks good. I mean, I'm trying to keep the enthusiasm down. But even against Atlanta, notice Mariota, he had a lot of success on the left side against Bryce Hall, who had a tough night. But the right side with Sauce, he didn't find any room. And watching the film, he was locking guys down. Not many starters played in the game. The young guys did. Sauce, Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson made a couple of nice plays. It was either a comeback or a curl on the sideline. Fought through traffic. The ball was a little inside by Mike White. Should have been to the outside shoulder, but I'm nitpicking. And Garrett Wilson just made an impressive catch. What did you think of the rookies, especially Garrett and Sauce?
Yeah, I saw that they didn't go at Sauce. In 2 games, last couple dozen out there passing plays. And Garrett Wilson, I saw the catch you're talking about. The way he came out of it, the guy was holding on to him. But, you know, he did a high point catch, you know, all hands. And that's a tough play. So if he can make more of those, I think we're in business.
Yeah, and then Lawrence Cager, you know, brought one to the house. It was a nice yak play. Definitely a busted coverage, but Streveler, you get a look at this Streveler kid at quarterback. He's really hyping up the fans right now, and he's the story of preseason right now.
Yeah, you always get guys that come out of nowhere. You just hope they get an opportunity. But I always say, got to get filmed. So if it doesn't work out, you know, here, hopefully they find their place somewhere. A lot of young guys that I was impressed with that, you know, maybe weren't on, you know, odds to make the team. So we'll see what cuts coming up this week.
Yeah, there were 5 guys cut today. Let's go down the list. Kia Nakua, the linebacker safety hybrid, who made a couple plays. He's in a tough spot based on trying to make the roster. Elijah Riley was one of them. Eddie Pinheiro. So Greg Zuerlein is going to be the Jets kicker, it looks like.
That's what I saw, yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like that battle is done. And there were 2 other guys, but they had to cut 5 today. And, you know, some of the guys that are really making noise, Will Parks at safety is one of them. I'd be shocked if he doesn't make the team. He had an excellent hit on a screen Monday night. So he's one of the guys coming along pretty strong.
Who is number 82 receiver in camp?
82, I think, is Irv Charles, one of the undrafted free agents from Penn State.
All right. You know what? I just kept hearing his number. I watched him play. Sorry, I didn't have a roster, but he impressed me.
Tough.
I don't know if he plays special teams, but how he's playing receiver out there, I was impressed. And got a lot of depth. I know there's some returning players and some new guys, but maybe a guy like that makes it.
Yeah, Irv Charles, Calvin Jackson Jr., that little slot guy, he's been making plays as well. And the really good news is there's not many injuries.
Yeah.
We know about Becton, but Saleh, they've done a good job. Saleh keeps knocking on the podium, knocking on wood. Zach Wilson, let's talk about that a little bit. The first preseason game, Wilson, it didn't look great. That first series, he got picked. I don't know. He looked kind of nervous out there. I don't know what was going on. But then the second series, he gets out of the pocket, scampers because he had pressure right in his face, and then plants. The Jets Twitter, Jets fandom was hysterical. And I understood why, because internet doctors were calling it an ACL. It was non-contact. He's out for the season. It's irresponsible to do that, to be honest, but it did not look good. Turns out he might just miss 1 or 2 games. He's already walking around. So what were your thoughts on the play when you saw it happen and, the diagnosis and Flacco in week 1? Right.
Nobody knew the diagnosis, but usually a non-contact injury is something serious. But, he dodged a bullet. I know he had the bone bruise and got the surgery with the ligament. But Joe Flacco, obviously, very experienced, been to the Super Bowl, can do a lot of things. So, they're in good hands as Zach comes back. And in this way, I think they can win with Joe. So in this way, they don't have to rush Zach back. As far as the Becton injury, me and you talked about it, kind of coming back. It's tough. It's tough for a guy that big to handle the weight, even though he lost a lot of weight. Heard he looked good. He's a great kid, great guy. Everybody loves him. And I hope he comes back good. But, bringing in Dwayne Brown as a replacement, is pretty good. At this point, a healthy Dwayne Brown, I think, has the experience and the Pro Bowls to really solidify the offensive line.
It's interesting. Yeah, the Wilson injury, I understand why it scared everybody, but, it should be a lesson learned for a lot of us because, digital news media with social media, everyone wants to get there first. It doesn't matter if they're wrong. The bottom line is this, prognostication, guessing should be labeled as such unless you know for sure. And that's where we go wrong. But Becton, an interesting stat, I think it was from ESPN, Rich Cimini. The Jets are a really young team, one of the youngest in the NFL. Yet if Dwayne Brown and Flacco start on opening day, they might be the first team in modern NFL history to have 2 37-year-old guys start on offense.
Hey, you can't, that experience, especially with the young guys. But as far as these, so-called whatever, it's experts, the media talking about this and that and this. And listen, they don't have medical diplomas on their wall. They can show me if they want to, but they don't know what they're talking about. So you got to wait till the real doctors decide before you get all excited, that 24 hours until you get the truth of it all. So, those old guys could certainly fill in for these guys. And like I said, at this point, those guys are playing well. So, I'm all for them being in there.
Yeah, I'm hearing all this stuff about old guys, Dwayne Brown, Flacco at 37, and I'm just, sitting there shaking my head with gray hair. Like, what the hell's going on? Old at 37.
Hey, listen, you can't beat experience. Maybe they're a little step slower, a little, it's this and that, but you can't make up for that. And if you're going to have 2 37-year-olds, those are the 2 guys you want.
Absolutely. And credit Joe Douglas. He got it done. I felt that was one move he had to make. Rarely did GMs have to make a move. And Douglas doesn't want to be put in a position where he has to, but he knew he had to here. He just had to get that guy. Yeah. And he did. 2 years, $22 million.
Yeah. Hey, listen, they're under the cap and saved some and made all the right moves and did a great draft for things like this that might happen. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they're under the cap allows them to bring in a guy like that. immediate starter, Pro Bowl kind of guy. So you got to, say kudos to him for being, us being in that situation where we can go out and pay that money for, a great replacement.
What do you think about Breece Hall and Michael Carter in the running game? I know you were at the scrimmage. Breece Hall had that one ridiculous run where I think it was an outside zone, and the line did a great job. The tight end did a great job, and he just had that corner on the edge and just one cut, juked him, gone, burst downhill. What do you think about Hall? Is he worth all the hype in fantasy this year?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I did like a draft order for a cameo for a group of people.
Did you?
And I went down 12-9, all the way down to number 1. And I said, as far as Jets, I said, there's a lot of good people you could pick. I said, Breece Hall's the guy you want to take in fantasy this year. Because I just think with the amount of targets and how he puts the ball in the end zone. And every time they cheered, I looked over there and it was him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want anybody to forget about Michael Carter, what he did last year. But between the two of them, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch.
Yeah, Michael Carter, he fits this scheme well, but Breece Hall is made to order for the scheme. This Terrell Davis, Denver Broncos, Shanahan, LaFleur scheme. His vision, his one-cut ability, go downhill, burst.
Yeah.
I'm picking 11th in my Dynasty Football League, and I'm praying he lasts to me at 11, but it's not going to happen. He's going to be, if not in the top 3, the first pick. I mean, there's just no way he's going to slide.
Some guys just have that X factor. Jets X factor, get it?
Yeah. Hey, there we go. I'll pay you later. I'll pay you later for that one.
I don't know. I saw him play a bunch in college, and mostly because I was playing him in fantasy.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, man, he reminds me of like an Eckler kind of guy that he could do both on the ground and in the passing game. So big expectations for him this year.
Yeah, and if you're a Jets fan depressed about Wilson being out, I mean, listen, first of all, it's only short term. Second of all, Joe Flacco has looked excellent this summer. He has had the offense moving, humming. The ball rarely touches the ground on 7-on-7. Garrett Wilson had a quote where he wasn't putting Zach Wilson down, but he mentioned how Flacco's ball is just really catchable, really receiver friendly, and that's experience. To your point, that's the graybeard in Flacco. So, don't think the offense is going to slip with Flacco because it just will not. I
think both of them are capable, and Mike White can do it too, of leading this team. Obviously, the sky's the limit for Zach. Still the jury's out for a lot of people, but the way he came and finished the year, I think very highly of him. But Flacco's just that guy that can come in and make it happen. Maybe it's not flashy, but he makes all the right reads. He makes all the right throws. So, now they're going to say, if he comes out and wins in the beginning, what are they going to do?
Quarterback controversy.
It'd be a blessing.
Yeah.
If, like I said, if they had the chance to, wait till Zach's 100%.
A lot of fans.
You go with the hot hand, but if they're not and Zach comes back, then he's the guy.
Yeah. And a lot of fans want to, predict, hey, they're just going to keep 2 quarterbacks on the roster if Zach Wilson's. They feel good about Zach after week 1. Wilson and Flacco. Listen, having 3 guys, Mike White too, that's great in training camp because you don't get a wasted rep in teams. Right. And even Streveler, he was having a tough time getting time in teams, getting reps. But with Wilson out, the third team hasn't missed a beat. And they started off slow against Atlanta last night. Mike White didn't have the greatest game, completely backup offensive line. I think Mike White's better than what he showed last night. He's not Johnny Unitas, but Jets fans are hot and cold with him. It feels like that. Either Jets fans love him or hate him, and it makes sense based on his performance last year against the Bengals, good against the Colts, gets hurt, bad against the Bills. But tough for the first team. Second team got better, and then once the third team got in there, Bradley and I with a strip sack touchdown, a lot of good things. Streveler, Cager, the Jets' third team dominated Atlanta's third team. So that is really good in terms of the team's depth.
Yeah. All these guys need reps. They're not going to get them in practice, sort of get them in game situations. That's the way you evaluate these guys. There's going to be 30 guys released and some brought back on practice squad. And it's such a fine line on who stays and who goes and based on positions, but who could play special teams and who can do the most for the team. So that's why I asked if some of these guys play special teams, because those are the guys who will stick around. And like I said, for the guys who don't make it, I'm glad they got some good film, and I hope they land somewhere else.
Yeah, and you got the Giants this Sunday at 1, which is a weird time for the Giants. Sunday at 1. Usually never Sunday, but with the 3 preseason game slate, which we both don't like, we'd like to see the days of 4 where they finish with the Eagles. But Sunday, Giants are going to scrimmage against the Giants this week too. Thursday and Friday, I believe it is. Thursdays at the Giants facility at MetLife. Fridays at Florham Park. And Saleh said the starters are going to play. It's going to be the dress rehearsal game. How long they play, I'm not sure. My guess is at least a full quarter, maybe into the second quarter, but they're going to play, and we're going to get a good idea of the Jets' full roster against the Giants.
Yeah, they got to go in there and, go through game situations and get used to the speed of the game. The Giants game, that was my coming out party, the 3rd preseason game, my rookie year. It's always wanted to play in Giant Stadium. I got a chance to play them. And I had everybody there just thinking maybe I'd never be out there again.
Yep.
And that was the one in the first quarter. I don't know what was going on. And that's when Kotite gave me the Chrebet, get in there. And I'm like behind him, like close enough, man. So I ran in there, played, didn't know, I was excited. And, this is a game where people show what they can do. Like I said, it's a little more, like the season is, not like the beginning of preseason where things are a little vanilla. So I'm curious to who's going to step up and make a name for themselves like I did.
Did you get time in the first and second games of the preseason that year?
First game, nothing. Second game, I got in like the fourth quarter and actually had a catch. And the third game, I always say this guy was hurt. He didn't know the playbook. He was out of shape. All these different things. And I had done stuff in practice that week, and I was on his mind, Kotite's mind, I guess. And he said it. And, I went out there and took the bull by the horns. And I said, hey, this is my only chance to play in the stadium. I'm going to do my best. And it worked out. And
was it Boomer still in there too?
Boomer was still in there. Yeah, it was like the first quarter. It was early.
No, that's right. It was that early. Wow. Yeah. And then the Eagles next week, and that's it. 1995.
Yeah.
So yeah, stock up, stock down. Will Parks is up, definitely. Solomon Thomas had a good day against Atlanta last night. It doesn't pop off the screen, but run defense was really good. Jonathan Marshall was solid. Sauce Gardner, as we alluded to, Mariota had nowhere to go on the right side. He was tremendous. I thought Jeremy Sherwood was pretty good. Bryce Hall had a rough night. Mike Hall, rough night. The offensive line, backup offensive line, rough night. But hey, we'll see what they do against the Giants this weekend. And we're right there. We're right there 2 weeks away from Baltimore.
Hey, before we go, who did Kyle Pitts beat on
Bryce Hall?
All right. Here's the thing. I didn't see the whole game, but from what I saw at practice in the red zone period, Kyle Pitts is a monster.
He's a stud.
They just got to throw it up. I mean, it's not normal that he could play receiver,
right.
Be that big, be that athletic, be that fast. So I can't say anything bad about Bryce Hall. Maybe he got other plays, but there's going to be a lot of guys this year that get beat by Kyle Pitts.
True. And listen, Hall just had one of those nights. It
happens.
It was sort of a double move, but not really. And he just got beat man to man. And then he was kind of just fouled up after that. The next one he gave up, it was a cover 4-2, and he just was given so much cushion, I think, based on getting beat the first time. And then the other ones, on broadcast, people think it's Bryce Hall's fault, but not necessarily, because they were in zone. So it depends on the calls, communication. So don't go too crazy. Hall's a great corner for this roster where he is, number 3, number 4 corner.
Right. So 2 biggest positions that need to have short-term memory is the quarterback and defensive backs.
Absolutely.
So, he maybe compounded a little after getting beat on that one, but he showed what he could do last year. So, I love when he's out there. I think he can make a lot of plays. Yeah,
and he's great in zone too, usually.
So we'll see what happens this week. There's a big game this week to show what they can do.
Absolutely. And we'll see the offensive line together. So that should be something. We'll see the defensive line together. Whether Carl Lawson plays or not, I'm not sure. I still think they have PTSD from last summer, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. Fans, jetsxfactor.com. Visit. use discount code 80. And we do have the signed Wayne Chrebet autograph 8x10s. They're going in the mailbox, coming your way for those who haven't received yet. And also, next Monday is the next Wayne Chrebet meet and greet. We have most of the people lined up. We're going to be live on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. So if you want to attend that, go to jetsxfactor.com, go to the Underdog Jets podcast section in the menu under the podcasts menu item and sign up. Just become a subscriber and you could meet and greet Wayne Chrebet virtually and ask him a question. We'll be on for about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that as well.
We've done that previously, and we got a lot of great questions. And it wasn't just about one question, answer, another question, answer. It's like a back and forth. You know, you get to have a conversation with everybody. Everybody gets a chance to listen. So get your questions ready. And obviously, there's going to be a lot more questions after we see this preseason game versus the Giants this week.
Yeah. So Giants Sunday, meet and greet Monday night. And then it's really fantasy football draft season. Maybe we'll do a fantasy show before the real season starts. And then 2 weeks, it's Baltimore. So we'll see what happens.
Maybe we'll do a midweek fantasy show, and we'll see how smart we are.
Yeah. I got a draft this Saturday. Actually, it's my first draft. So, I'll, on the meet and greet, I'll let everyone know what my picks are. Maybe everyone could get on me for the stupidity I unveil.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, fellas. Jets fans, until next time, we'll see you Monday.